Today is 10/24/18. All right. So more square roots. The first page is a review. The back is going to be something totally new. So when we get to the back, that's where you really have to pay attention. So let's do number 1 together. What do you think? 108. So if I'm not sure, what's that?
9.
9 and what?
9.
11.
9 and what?
9.
9 and 12, maybe. Okay. So if you're not sure, okay, listen up. A nice technique is if you're not sure, take your number and divide it by a perfect square. If you're not sure, so give me a 9. Okay, 9's a great idea. So 9, I get 12. Okay.
Oh.
So what I do know is that 9 times 12 is 108. So if you're not sure, divide your number by one of the perfect squares, right? So if I went square root of 9, square root of 12, and then what am I going to do about the x to the 7th? Square root of x to the 6th, and square root of x. Now, great. However, 12 can be done, can't it?
No.
12 can be done. We could take 12 and change that to a 4 and a 3, which meant that 36 would have gone into 108, but that's okay if you didn't know that, right? Because you can break down 12. You could go, all right, 9, I can go 4 and a 3, square root of x to the 6, and a square root of x, okay? So if you get these big numbers, just break them down, and sometimes you have to break them down again, right? So square root of 9, that's easy. 3. Square root of 4, that's easy. 2. Half, right? Half. Half your exponent, x3. And then these two, square root of 3 is just some ugly decimal number. Leave it alone. And the square root of x, you can't do it, so you just leave it alone and keep them together inside. Now, we're almost done. We can put these two together.
Wait, hold on.
Yep, I'll wait for you. Okay,
Yes.
6x cubed square root of 3x. All right, there it is. Okay, number 2, when you're ready, is much easier, but we can do number 2. Number 2 is just going to be a 6. Multiply the whole numbers. Square roots of multiply the square root numbers 50. But I'm not done because 50 can be broken up. 25 and 2. Good job, Josiah. So we're going to go 6 square root of 25 square root of 2. Right? You know the square root of 25 is 5 times square root of 2, which just makes a 30 square root of 2. All right, number 3. Am I going too fast?
No. Yes.
Okay, number 3. Now, number 3, we talked about square roots yesterday, and one of the things we said is you can't have a square at the bottom. However, this is an easy one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's just going to be a 6/7, because the square root of 36 and the square root of 49, they're both perfect squares, so just go straight to 6/7. That was an easy one. So don't get tricked by the easy ones. Just do the easy ones as they are, okay? Okay, number 4. Slide it on up, okay? So, a little bit harder, but we can do it. Multiply. I'm going to get a 6x squared, right? 2x times 3x. 6x squared. Everybody agree with that? Square root of, let's see, I'm going to get a 20x squared inside the root. Now, I'm not done because x squared, I can take half of that, and 20 I can break up. So break 20 up into 4 and 5, right? So I'm going to have a 6x squared. I'll take the square root of 4. That's just plain old 2. I'll take half my exponent, and I'll make that an x to the 1, but I don't need the 1. You know, we all know there's a 1 there. And then what's left over? Just the square root of 5. Okay, now I just got to tidy it up. I'll have a 12x to the 3rd square root of 5. Okay, not too bad? Okay, everybody's going to do really well if I give you a quiz on this, right?
Please don't give no quiz, please.
Oh, eventually. Okay, slide over to 5. Okay. All right, number 5 is distribute. We're just going to multiply through. So I'm going to go 2 square roots of 3 times 3 square roots of 6, and I'm going to get a 6 square roots of 18 plus 2 square roots of 3 times 2 square roots of 3 is a positive 4 square roots of 9. Okay? There's more to be done. There's more to be done. 18 could be the square root of 9 times the square root of 2. And the square root of 9, that's easy. That's just plain old 3. Just plain old 3. Square root of 9 is just 3, okay? Almost done. Square root of 9 is 3, so I've got a 6 times a 3 square root of 2. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay? Just about there. And 18 square root of 2 plus 12. Don't add them. They're different. This is a bunch of square roots of 2's, and that's 12. Don't add them. This is a bunch of square roots of 2, and that's a 12. Don't add them. That's it, okay? All right, let's shift it up to number 6. How am I doing so far? 6. Wait. Okay, I can slide up there, right? All right, now, 6. I can only add them if they're the same. They're not. Let's break them up and see if we can get something to happen, okay? So 18, I'm going to change 18 into a 9 and a 2. The 12, I'm going to break up into a 4 and a 3. And the 50 will break up into the 25 and the 2, right? So I'm going to keep going. Square root of 9 is 3, right? Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 25 is 5. Square root of 2. Okay, now let's fix it, finish it up. 9 square roots of 2 because 3 times 3. Plus 8 square roots of 3 because of 4 times 2. Plus 30 square roots of 2. Now you can only add the ones that are the same. So I'm going to add these 2 only, right? Those 2 only. So I'm going to get a 39 square roots of 2. 39 square roots of 2 plus 8 square roots of 3. And that's all we can do. Don't add them if they're not the same, because this is so many square roots of 2 and so many square roots of 3. We don't have any square roots of 6's. There are no square roots of 6's at all. Okay?
God,
Yeah.
when will we ever use
What's
this?
like a real life example?
Okay, you probably will never ever use this. However, okay? I know. No, I don't care. That's fine. So, however, this is the way it works, okay? This is a part of our society, okay? And I got 2 answers. One, you're going to need to know this to take the next math class, okay? So you've got to know it, because if you don't know it for the next math class, then you're going to have a hard time in the next math class, okay? So then you got to know it to get into the next math class from there, okay? So the whole idea is eventually everybody wants to go to college and graduate, right? So it's a stepping stone. You got to go through the hoops or through the steps to get there, to graduate from college, right? And this is stuff you'll see in the math classes on your journey. So I'd feel really bad if you went onto your math class and didn't know how to do this, right? I wouldn't be doing my job, and you'd be mad at me because you'd be saying, well, we never learned that last year, Mr. Davies. I hear things about last year. So when some of you had a different teacher last year, right? Do you feel good that you didn't learn as much last year, or do you feel bad? Okay, so that's my answer to it, is to make sure that you know it, so that when you see Mr. Massey someday, you're going to know it, right? Now, second answer is this. Will you need to solve problems in life? Yes. Will you need to know how to think abstractly? Yes. So what are we doing? I've just got the poster up. What are we doing? We're training the mind.
Like stuff like this. Like, am I going to look at a stop sign and be like,
Okay? Yes.
oh, look what that is.
Probably a 2. Yeah. Okay, number 7. Here we go. So, sorry, Landon. Hope that answers your question. Okay, let's FOIL. Okay, 2 square roots of 3 times 3 square roots of 3 is a 6 square roots of 9. 2 square roots of 3 times 5 is a positive 10 square roots of 3. 1 times 3 square roots of 3 is a 3 square roots of 3. And 1 times 5 is a 5, okay? Now, we can do some more stuff with this. We can take the square root of 9, and that's 3. we can add those two because they're the same. So I get a 13 square roots of 3 plus 5. Okay? I'm getting there. 6 times 3 is 18 plus a 13 square roots of 3 plus 5. And finally, these two make a 23 plus a 13 square roots of 3. Okay? All right? I will wait. I will wait. Okay? Okay, now, number 8. So, number 8, we learned this yesterday. So, we have a square at the bottom. The rule is you can't have a square at the bottom, so you fix the problem with the problem. So let's multiply by the square root of 3, right? Which is going to give me 5 square roots of 3 over the square root of 9, right? But the square root of 9 is 3, so we're going to get 5 square roots of 3 over 3. Do not divide these 3's. That is not 3. That's the square root of 3, which is about 1.73, blah, 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 blah.
That's my answer.
Do not. That's your answer. You're done. Okay? Okay. Number 9. Number 9 is the same process. Let's first rewrite it as the square root of 5 over the square root of 6. Okay? Okay, same process. You can't have a square root in the bottom or the denominator, so you fix the problem with the problem. So I'm going to multiply by square root of 6, right? Which is going to give me square root of 30 over the square root of 36, right? Square root of 36 is just plain old 6, so my answer is going to be the square root of 30 over 6. Don't divide those. That is not a 30. That's probably 5 point something, blah, 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 right? So don't divide it. That is not a 30. It's a square root of 30, which is about 5 point, I don't know. You can check it on your calculator. There you go. Thanks, Isabel. Yeah, Isabella. Okay, 10. Let's break it up. We got the square root of 18 over the square root of 5, right? Now 18, we can do something with 18. Before you go ahead and multiply, let's make 18 smaller so we don't have such big numbers to deal with, right? So if we can reduce the 18 to square root of 9, square root of 2, right? Over the square root of 5, right? Which is 3 square roots of 2 over the square root of 5. Okay, so now it's smaller. We have easier numbers to deal with. What don't we like? Let's get rid of it, right? Square root of 5, square root of 5. I'm going to have to skip a step because I'm running out of room, but that's okay. You guys are smart. We're going to get 3 square roots of 10 over 5. Plain old 5, because square root of 5 times square root of 5 is square root of 25, right? Square root of 5 times square root of 5, square root of 25, which is 5, okay? All right, something new. Turn the page when you're ready. Okay, turn the page. Now, real quick. So, I've got a square root on the bottom. And if I were to do this the normal way, and I'm going to do it here on the board because I just want you to watch, okay? I'll bring it down because I'm short, okay? So, if I were to say, okay, fix the problem with the problem, it won't work. And I'll show you why. Fix the problem with the problem, it won't work, and I'm going to show you why. So, if I multiply by square root of 2, square root of 2, the problem is that I'm going to have a 1 square root of 2 on the top, but on the bottom, I'm going to have a 3 square root of 2 plus a square root of 4. Now the problem is this. You still have a square on the bottom, don't you?
Yeah.
So that won't work. So we're going to do another trick that I'm going to teach you, okay? You're going to do this weird thing called multiplying by the conjugate. Ooh, fancy word, but let's write that down, okay? Okay, so we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply by the conjugate. It's a fancy word, but really it has to do with basically the opposite. Okay, the opposite of 3 plus the square root of 2, the opposite of 3 plus the square root of 2 is 3 minus.
Wait, conjugate the what opposite?
It's just the opposite. Multiply by the conjugate. Oh, sorry. So we're going to multiply by the conjugate. The conjugate's the opposite, okay? And I'll describe the opposite for you, okay? So, what is the opposite of 3 plus the square root of 2? It is going to be 3 minus the square root of 2. Now you have to do that on top and bottom because that way you're multiplying by 1. And when you multiply by 1, you don't change the value, okay? 3 minus square root of 2, okay? So by multiplying top and bottom by the same thing, this is technically the number 1, right? And you multiply anything by 1, you don't change the value. That's why you have to do top and bottom the same. Just like we did on the back side, it was always the same, right? Always the same, so you're multiplying by 1, right? Yep, same, okay? So now let's go back, okay? How does that help? Well, let's see. I'm going to, on top, or on the numerator, get a 3 minus the square root of 2, okay? And on the bottom, or on the denominator, we're going to get 9 minus 3 square root of 2 plus 3 square root of 2 minus the square root of 4. Now, how did the conjugate help me? Well, the conjugate,
Made it longer.
it made it longer, but this occurred. See the middle two terms? The conjugate created the middle two terms. And what do we know about these two middle terms? What's going to happen?
They're gonna cancel.
They're going to cancel. So by doing the conjugate, it created opposite terms that cancel, and the square root's gone from the bottom. Well, we got a square root of 4, but we know what the square root of 4 is. It's a regular number, right? So now I'm going to have a 3 minus the square root of 2 over 9 minus 2.
Why is it?
This 3?
Oh, on the top.
Yeah. So my answer is 3 minus the square root of 2 over 7. Is there a square root on the bottom?
Wait, why
No.
is it 7?
9 minus 2.
Oh.
Yes. Owen.
Would it be like 9 minus negative 2? Is there 2 negatives in there?
No, they're not two negatives. It's just 9. So this negative went to here. I think that's just confusing you, okay?
Alright.
Does that make sense? Okay, 12, we're going to do the same thing. So what is the conjugate? What's the conjugate? It is a 5 plus 2 square root of 2. A 5 plus 2 square root of 2. Okay, so we're going to multiply by the conjugate, which is the opposite. Okay, how does that help us? Well, for the numerator, we're going to get 5 square roots of 3 plus 2 square roots of 6. Okay? For the denominator, we're going to get 25 plus 10 square roots of 2 minus 10 square roots of 2 minus 4 square roots of 4. Okay, I'll step back and let you look. Okay, ready, Landon? Yeah, we just FOIL. Okay, so Landon, when you're done writing, I'll go through it with you. Okay,
Oh.
you got it? You sure you got it?
No.
Okay, you ready? 25
Yeah.
positive 10 square roots of 2
Okay.
negative.
Yeah.
Do you got it? Okay. These two, the reason we do the conjugate is these middle two terms cancel, okay? So I suppose if you were trying to save steps in your homework, you probably wouldn't even worry about the middle two terms because you know they cancel, right? So to finish this up, on the top of the numerator, I've got 5 square roots of 3 plus 2 square roots of 6. In the denominator, I'm going to have a 25 minus 4 times 2, because square root of 4 is 2, right? Yep. So I cancel the two middle terms.
13.
You're way ahead of me. Yep.
No, it's 5 square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 6 over.
Yes. 5 square roots of 3 plus 2 square roots of 6. This is 8, right? So 25 minus 8. What's 25 minus 8? 13?
17.
He fooled you, didn't he? How about 5 square roots of 3 plus 2 square... Did you say 17?
Nope. Yeah, kill 17.
How about 17, though? Are we okay with 17?
I said 13. 17.
All right. Can you do this today? Okay, there's an assignment loaded up.